A couple of days ago, I actually had the chance to join Zero Zero Robotics offline activity, which they held for flying their latest V-Coptr Falcon drone, the world's first V-shaped bicopter. This drone was actually released last year but never hit the market officially until now. As I did many searches on YouTube, it seems like my video is the first English real-life flying review video ever, as Zero Robotics told me that they haven't shipped to any overseas influencers for reviewing either. So buck up and hear what I have to say. What really impressed me, of course, is the cool and innovative design. Unlike the dominant quadcopters we've seen on the market in recent years, the V-Coptr Falcon is a V-shaped drone, which looks super cool. Of course, I'm not saying these quadcopters have a bad design, they look fancy too. It's just we do need something new for this oversaturated drone market, don't we? The folding mechanism works easily. When you unfold, just put two arms up fully. The motors, as we can see, are rotatable. When you fold, you have to press the buckle under the arm and put down the arms. The drone also comes with a stand for better landing. Install it before flying. It's not mandatory though. As for the battery, you just slide the buckles on the side to take it out. The remote controller has an innovative folding design as well. You can switch between the sports mode and normal mode on the side. There's also a stop button on the front panel in case of an emergency. The other buttons seems basically the same as DJI's. Hold down the power key on the drone to turn it on. You turn on the remote controller in the same way. The drone and the RC will enter pairing mode. Once the yellow indicator on the remote controller turns to green, it means they have paired successfully. For the V-Coptr, you have to use the app, otherwise you cannot fly it. Before taking off, as you can see, the motors will rotate themselves to the right position and then spin. When you push the throttle, it then takes off. Whilst it's flying, it looks like a falcon in the sky. That's why it's called Falcon. Let me talk a little bit about my flying experience. Well, one thing I noticed immediately was they felt less responsive than some of the DJIs I was flying, even in sports mode. Well, on one hand, you could say it's safer to fly in this way because it's slower in speed, but the other side, you will have a less enjoyable controlling experience. I personally do hope it can be more responsive in sports mode. The second thing is the super long battery life, though it doesn't have the 50 minutes of flying time as advertised because that data was from lab tests in ideal conditions. But it's still way longer than some of the drones I've flown. It can easily reach 35 to 40 minutes. I also like how low noise it is when in the air. The hovering is stable, as you can see, even with the wind there. And here's the footage if you are interested to know. It supports 4K 30 FPS recording. The footage looks sharp and vivid. I guess it's enough for your normal daily life sharing on social media. But when I viewed it carefully on a bigger screen, I noticed the footage is very soft on two sides. The middle, as you can see, is clear. This is very weird. Not sure if it's the problem that's only on this drone that was flying, or the problem that exists on a larger scale. Here's the app interface. We see three choices on the homepage: multi-directional tracking, manual controlling, intelligent shooting. I tried the track mode. Well, it followed me as you would expect. I walked, ran fast, I even hid beside a sign and then out. Seems pretty smooth until this happened. As I was approaching the drone, it stepped back to keep me in the frame, but I didn't notice there was a tree behind me, and then crashed. Whoa! Whoa! Do you think in this situation any drone can crash or just a V-Coptr? My opinion, since the V-Coptr doesn't have real obstacle sensing, is that it could be an issue for this kind of drone in such situations. What do you think? My conclusion is that the V-Coptr Falcon is a cool drone with a cool original design. If you are bored with the traditional quadcopters and try something new, then surely it gives you a fresh flying experience. But you have to know it's not cheap at all, and honestly, in my opinion, the V-Coptr Falcon is still not finished. The image quality has a problem that I referred to before. I'm not sure if it's just an isolated case or normal. The build quality is doubtful. Remember, it crashed, but later we found it, and there seemed to be no damage at all on the outer shell, but when we were trying to fly it after, it couldn't. The plumber said the motor had an issue. That kind of crash could never be an issue for my DJI Mavic Air 2. I crashed the Air 2 multiple times, and one time, even the motor shell got broken, but I just snapped it back in and all was good. Nevertheless, I'm glad to see some drone companies like Zero Zero Robotics are trying something new to give us a fresh experience in the drone industry, and I want to give it a big thumbs up for that, because the more competition, the more benefits to users. Will you support new drone companies like V-Coptr, or are you good with the old ones? Let me know in the comments section. And please don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sammy, and we'll see you in the next one.
拿到了，继续飞，继续飞。